Alright, this is Mr. Lang, and I'm going to be showing you how to set up your ELMO tablet. Now, I'm making this video for the staff that works with me here at La Crescenta Elementary School, but hey, if you're just out there on the web and you're trying to figure out how to do this, you can certainly use this video, and I hope it helps you. You'll notice here I have my ELMO tablet box. It's in there. Right on top I have a very important piece. This is my dongle. This VGA adapter. Okay, that's the actual technical name for it. And on one side goes the VGA cable, and the other side fits into your Mac, whichever type of Mac you have. Now, you need to make sure you have the correct dongle, because every time Mac comes out with a new computer, it seems that they change this part right here, this plug. So the most current MacBook Pros that we all just received, they use this one, and you should have your dongle because all of us got one. But if you don't and you have a Mac, you're going to need a VGA adapter, also called a dongle. If you have a PC, you're set, because PCs all typically have the VGA connector built in. So we're going to put that to the side. You're going to want to open up your box. Now, if you're on my staff with me, last year we opened these up and we unwrapped them. We put the batteries in. So if you haven't done that, you're going to want to make sure everything has its battery. Right on top, you'll have your software that you need to load on your computer. I'm going to show you that in just a second, how to do that if you have a Mac. And here's your tablet, and on the back you have the spot where your pen goes that you use. We put the battery in that last year. If you haven't done that, just take time to put the AAA battery in there that came with the ELMO tablet. And you have your, it looks like a thumb drive, but it's really the wireless receiver that works with your tablet. And that just pulls out like that. I'm going to show you how to connect that to the computer. And in here, in this panel, is where we put the battery that comes with it. You just unwrap it, pop it in there. It comes with some charge on it, but you might want to plug it in overnight just to make sure that it gets a full charge so that you don't run out. I find my tablet lasts several weeks in the classroom without ever charging it, but it's good practice to plug it in at least once a week overnight so that it doesn't die on you in the middle of a lesson, because you really can't use it while it's charging. So you have to go back to your old school ways for a while, which isn't that big of a deal, while it charges. So we're going to set the tablet aside for a second, and then I'm going to show you really quick how to load the software onto your computer, because that is what is going to be, the tablet is going to be using that to work on the screen for your students. So I'm going to show you that right now. Okay, so first thing you need to do before you do anything, we're going to load this software onto our computer. First thing we're going to do, take it out of the envelope, and you're going to put that in your computer's disk drive. If you have a Mac, like most of us, it's going to be on the side right here. Just going to put that in there, make sure nothing is in there already. If it won't go in, that means you have something in there. You need to hit the eject button, which is that button in the very right hand top corner. So I'm going to put that in there, and normally I would like something to pop up on the screen. If you have a PC, that's what's going to happen. On my Mac here, that hasn't been my experience with this program. So we're going to go down and find the program in our Finder, which is this bottom left icon. When you hover over it, it says Finder. You're just going to click that once. That opens up your Finder. And there's a lot of things in your Finder here, but we're going to go down the left hand side menu, and you actually scroll down in that menu. And the very last thing is usually whatever you put in your disk drive. You'll see it at the bottom. Looks like a little computer disk, little CD-ROM guy, and it says IM accent. That's image made accent. You're going to give that a single click. That's going to open up a series of folders or icons, files that are on this disk. Most of these don't mean anything to any of us, except when you go all the way down to the bottom, there are two very important folders. One says Mac, that's not focusing very well, sorry, and one says Win, which stands for Windows. Mac would obviously be if you're on a Mac, which I am and most of us are, and Windows is for if you are on a PC, which some of us are. So I'm going to show you how to do this on a Mac, and then I will also show you at the end of this tutorial how to do it on a Windows, because most of us are using the Mac, and so that's going to be what's primary. If you're not, just fast forward to that part, and you go to the end of the disk for the Windows demonstration. So I will give the Mac folder a single click. Actually, you have to double click it, I'm sorry. And what you're looking for is what looks like a package, and you just want to open this package because that's going to be where your software is located. So we're going to double click that icon, and you just follow the directions through, and mostly what we're going to hit is the continue button because it's going to do what we want it to do. So it says we'll be guided through. That's the introduction. I'm going to hit continue. It tells you how much space it's going to take, and we're happy with that, so you just click install. Okay, you have to type in your administrative password, which I'm going to do really quick. That is actually your Zangle password if you are in Glendale. Okay, once you get your password all typed in, it will ask you if you want to continue installation. So you click continue installation, and it's going to go through the whole process. Okay, just kind of wait till this whole bar turns blue, and then you should be ready to go. Okay, when it's done installing, when the blue bar has gone all the way across, it will say the installation was successful, and it's going to give you the option. The only option you have is to restart. So you click that, and it will restart your computer. You just have to wait till it fires back up, and then you'll be ready to go. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to connect the cables that came with your Elmo tablet. Okay, once you have the software loaded onto your computer and you know it works, you're going to come back to that box. We already said we set the tablet aside. You're going to come back to the box, and underneath the cover, some very important element. This is the cord. Now you need this cord. It's kind of a funky cord. It has a VGA cable, and connected to it, there's a VGA. On either side is your USB cable. They're actually two separate cables. You can use a separate VGA and USB cable, but it comes with these nice ones that you need to use. You might as well use them. So I'm going to bring these over here closer to my computer. Now you should already have, if you've been using your Elmo, it's already set up in standard Elmo form. You have your one VGA cable coming into out of the the projector out, and it's going down and up to your projector, and it's plugged into probably computer 1. You can use computer 2, but that's not necessary. Just use computer 1. That's easier. And that's going to stay just like that. You're not going to change that. You're going to add more cables to your Elmo and to your computer. That's where this comes in handy. You'll notice on one side it says PC. That's what plugs into your computer. Even if you have a Mac, it still plugs in there even though it says PC. So it means computer. This side says document camera. It's not focusing very well. It says document camera. That's what's going to go to our Elmo. It actually says where to put it, RGB in. So if we look at the back of our Elmo, it actually says RGB in right here. You see a little picture of a laptop computer. I'm going to just plug that in. Real quick, tighten it down so it doesn't get pulled out in the middle of a lesson, which would be inconvenient. Okay, and then this part of the USB actually plugs right in here into the back. And both sides of the USB are different, so you can't get this wrong. You can't get it backwards because it wouldn't fit. The other side would not fit. Now, the other side of my cable, which is over here on the student's desk, has my VGA and my USB. Well, the USB is simple. It just plugs into one of your USB ports. Just like that. So now I have in my computer my power. I have my Ethernet cable, which hooks up, that's my internet connection. I also have a speaker cable, so I can play sound through my speakers that I have here. And I've just added the USB that is now connected to my Elmo. This allows the Elmo to communicate with the computer, which it could not do before. It could only communicate with the projector. Now Elmo can talk to both. That's the glory of this tablet. Okay, so what to do with this other VGA cable? Well, that's where the adapter or the dongle comes in. So I have my dongle here, and I'm going to plug in. So I'm trying to hold the camera and do this at the same time. I'm going to plug in my adapter. Okay, and I would screw that in. Oh, that doesn't work that well on this cable. And then that goes, if you're using a Mac, right in there. Just line up with the hole where it fits. It won't fit into any of the other holes. So it's kind of fail-safe. There we go. I'm all set. Now, even my screen just changed. A resolution on my computer. It got narrower, like this. It went bloop, because it's actually adjusted now to display through my projector. So now I'm all connected. That's all I had to do to plug my Elmo in to my computer and the Elmo into the projector. Now that you have all that set up, I'm going to show you the basic way to turn on your Elmo tablet and start using it in your classroom. Well, now that you have your Elmo, it's plugged into both the projector and to the computer using the double VGA and USB cable. You're ready to start using your wonderful Elmo tablet. So first thing I need to do is turn on my Elmo. So I'm going to put the camera up into position so it can show whatever is on the table in front of me. And I'm going to push the button so that it goes from red to blue. And it takes a second to fire up. Once it starts blinking, it's ready to go. Now I need to go over to the computer. I've already loaded my software. That has to be done, PC or Mac, or else it won't work. I'm going to click down on my dock on the launch pad. Now I've actually put this program's icon onto my dock, but in case you didn't, it's over here. You go to launch pad, open it up, and here you go. You have all your programs. You can just scroll back and forth to the different programs that you have on your computer, which I'm trying to show you, but it's not working for some reason. There it goes. So you can scroll back and forth like this. And you want to look for the one that looks like a bunch of bubbles, and it says image accent. It's actually abbreviated. It's image mate accent, but they abbreviate them if they're too long on the Mac. So I'm going to click that. It's just going to be one click and it opens. It's going to turn on image mate. And like I said earlier, I showed you when we were testing it, it's going to show you right away on the computer whatever you're holding down in front of your Elmo. So you'll see what I have on the tabletop in front of me is now actually on my computer screen, which is great when you're teaching. If you're in the front, you can actually see what's going on the screen. You don't always have to turn around and look behind you at the projection screen to see what is going on back there, like I used to have to do when I just had my Elmo and projector. I'd always be looking back to see if I was lined up correctly, if they could see the worksheet. Now you can see it on your computer, which is beautiful. Yeah, once you have ImageMate on, now we need to set up the Elmo tablet, actually hook it up to the computer so it will work. So the first thing you do is you flip it over, you take out the two items you need. You need your pen, which just has a plastic tip, and it comes with extra ones because it kind of wears down after a while. And you have your, what looks like a thumb drive. This is your wireless receiver. Wireless receiver, first thing first, you have to plug that into the available USB drive that's on your computer. Now it is tight to get this in here. Actually, you know, I find better if I put this USB cable in the first slot, and then I can shove this receiver into the second slot. Now my Mac only has two. So if you have something plugged into your USB already, like a set of USB speakers, you are going to need a USB hub to provide you with more USB hookups, because it only comes with two on this computer. Some computers have more on the other side, not the newer Mac. So either try not to have anything else in your USB or get yourself a USB hub where it comes off and it has more. I have one somewhere, but I don't know where it is right now. Okay, I'm going to turn the tablet back over. Now whenever you see a blinking blue light, that means it's not communicating with the other part. So if the receiver's blinking blue, it's not communicating with the tablet. The tablet is blinking blue, it's not communicating with the computer or the receiver. So to turn on my tablet, I'm just going to hit the button once, it turns bright blue. And if the lights turn out, that's a good sign. That means you're connected. Okay? If not, you're going to push the button on this one. Okay? And it's going to start blinking really fast. Then you're going to flip your tablet over and you're going to push the button on the back. Okay, so I held it down and the light stopped blinking on that one and the light stopped blinking on this one. Now I'm going to show you on the computer screen, which is looking at my tablet through the Elmo. I'm going to show you how I can actually start moving the cursor on the computer screen by moving my pen around, just floating it above the Elmo tablet. Look, I'm not even touching the tablet, but that is actually moving that cursor. You can see that little pencil flying around. That's actually my cursor. I'm looking at my computer screen, which is showing you the image that's underneath the document camera, the Elmo. There's like the whole space-time continuum right now is being interrupted by this process. Okay, so I can actually start drawing on the screen now, because I'm in Elmo mode. Elmo mode just means it's showing you and the students on the screen behind them showing them whatever is on your computer screen. Okay? And you can always see it on your computer screen. Now if I wanted to, on the screen, I have some buttons here. Okay? And I can scroll through the buttons by hitting this arrow. Okay, and you'll notice one of them looks like a computer screen. That's how I get to my computer actually. It's desktop mode. So if I want to show a Discovery Education video or anything, Firefox, Internet, I go to computer mode. To get back, I just hit the back button right here. It goes back to Elmo mode. Now if I want to go to whiteboard mode, which I use a lot in my classroom, there's a couple of icons here. This one goes to Elmo mode, which I'm on right now. So you can see what's under the Elmo. And this one goes to whiteboard mode. So if I click that, I'm going to show you what happens on the screen. It turns into a whiteboard. Okay. And now the default is vertical lined paper, which is really great if you're in Japan, where they write vertically from right to left. We don't do that here in the United States. We would more typically use a blank white sheet of paper, or you can use horizontally lined paper if you want to. Typically, I use, they also have musical if you teach music. I typically just use the white one because it looks like my whiteboard. And then I could walk around the room and write anything I want on this whiteboard as I'm teaching. I can use it for math, language arts, anything. And that's pretty much how you set it up. Now you're free to get mobile, walk around your room, start writing with the tablet. Whatever you see on your computer screen is going to be up on the projection screen, which I don't have on right now, but you get the idea. That's the way to do it. When you're done using your tablet, it's really simple. You don't even need to unplug this receiver unless you're taking your computer home. Like at the end of the day, I take my computer home and I unplug everything. But in between, you want to just hold the button down until the blue light turns off. That turns your tablet off. Always remember to keep your pen in the back. I'm just saying that because I'm the kind of person who doesn't keep my pen in the back and then I cannot find it. And this tablet will not work with anything but that pen, because that battery that you put in there gives it the ability to work with this tablet. So nothing will work except for that pen. Don't lose it. So then you'll see when you do that, all of a sudden you have a blue light blinking on this. Don't worry, that's nothing to be alarmed about. It just means it's not communicating with the tablet. So you can unplug that if you want to. I usually unplug it. I just set it right on top of my Elmo. And at the end of the day, I unplug all my cables. I let them stay there. I take my laptop home, and then the next day I plug all the cables back in. I plug my receiver back in, and I'm ready to go the next day. Now, what do you do with your computer? That's a good question. Now, I could have, on the tablet, just with the pen, clicked on or touched the X, and it would give me the option to exit out of the software. But if you forgot to do that, like I often do, just go down to this little arrow here, you scroll through your menu till you see the X. Once you see the X, click on it, it will say, exit ImageMate account. You say OK, and you're back to your normal computer mode, and you're ready to do anything else you want. So there you go. That's just the basics. Hopefully in 10 minutes you got the idea and you're able to get this thing fired up and start using it. Hey, day 1, day 2, week 1, you know, that's the encouragement. So have a good time. If you have any questions, come see me. Thanks. Okay, now if you have a PC like I have sitting right here, I'm going to show you what it looks like to install the software onto the PC. Now this is a bit older model PC, but it should be very similar. Okay, so you're just going to put that in the disk drive, kind of like how we did for the Mac. Okay, pop that in, and you're just going to wait for a second. Now the PC should pop up a window once it senses what's going on here. We'll just wait for that to happen. You can hear it spinning that disk. And here we go. So, Elmo has a very nice menu, and it offers you English or Japanese. Well, I think we'll pick English. Okay, so check in order. So go to 1, before use. Okay, it's taking me to a website. Okay, that's just to check your system requirements, and you should be good. So before installation, I'm sure we're going to be fine. I'm just going to go ahead and click Install ImageMate Accent. Pretty user friendly so far. Okay, let's put our little install box here. It's going into a DOS menu. Okay. Select the language. Okay, it's English is what it's defaulted to, so we say OK. And there it goes. It's preparing to install. Very easy on a PC, I must say. That is one nice thing about a PC. Make that pretty simple. You can tell Elmo has even made this for a PC, but they have, you know, they've made it work with Mac too. Okay, so now you're going to get the Install Shield Wizard. Pretty much you just hit next every time. You know, of course you're going to agree with the licensing agreement. You have to click I accept, click on next, and now we click install, which is the logical choice. That's what you'd like to do. So we'll skip to the end. Okay, so now you get the Device Driver Installation Wizard. This wizard helps you install the software drivers that some computer devices need to work. So we're going to next. This is all part of the installation process. Okay. Now it is finished. That took about probably a minute, maybe two. Okay, it says drivers were successfully installed. You can now connect the device to your computer. And everything's checked off here. All the drivers that you need. You just hit finish. Okay, then now on this window you hit finish. And it says you must restart. Would you like to do it now or later? Obviously you want to use it, so you're going to say yes for now. And it's going to restart your computer. And when you open it up, you should have a beautiful icon on your desktop. And here we go. I've restarted my computer, which took just a minute. And you can see now that I'm installed, it has placed the image may accent icon right there on my desktop. So all I have to do now, double click it, and it'll open right up. Of course, I would want to be completely connected before I did this, but once you're all connected, open up your software and you're ready to start using your tablet. Remember, again, if you have any questions, just give me a call. I can come over and help you out. Thank you for watching.